Hi guys, Allison here. Happy Fused Glass Friday. So for this week's project, I'm basically going to be making it entirely out of glass dots, or frit balls as they're also known. As you can see, I have some pre-fired ones here in this orange color of all different sizes. The project that I'm intending to make is, I want them to be all sort of consistently sized. But I guess, variety is not bad, so that's fine too. So for those of you who don't know, you can make your own dots by firing little pieces, either little squares. They don't really have to be square. They can be sort of random as well. Fire those on a full fuse and then they shrink and bead up. So I also have some yellow bits here that are already kind of cut to the right shape and size. I'll probably fire those as well. And for this project, I know that I need a lot of black ones. So I was just gonna start cutting some black squares that can be fired. I thought that I was gonna make these each like a 1/4 inch. So these little squares on my grid here, these are a 1/2 inch. So this size does look to be about a 1/4 inch. So I think that looks good to me. They will shrink up a little bit, but I think I'm not going to be too precise. I think I'm just going to make lots and lots of black ones, probably all different sizes, and then I can, if I'm looking at this many, I'll be able to find, the ones that I want and the size that I want. Okay, so we're not going to be too careful about the size. So basically what I'm going to be doing is scoring multiple times in one direction, then flipping the glass around and scoring multiple times in the opposite direction to form a grid, and then going back in and breaking it apart. I'm not going to film myself making all of these, just because it will be boring to watch, I think, making the same exact cuts over and over again. But like I said, I'm intending to make this project using all of these dots, so I do just want to sort of make a lot of them up front. I of course use them for other projects as well, so this is also helpful for me to have just in my studio. So I just cut that little bit off too because I thought that one might be too big otherwise. So I will continue to cut my little square shapes. I'm going to do black and probably a couple other colors as well. I'll have to see what I have in my inventory already that I think I can use. And I will fire these tonight, like I said, on a full fuse, and I will be back tomorrow to assemble the project with you guys. So I will see you tomorrow. Hi guys, welcome back. It is the following day. I have lots of dots that I'll be using to make my project here. I also have a sheet of bullseye kiln paper that, as you can see, I've drawn a very uneven grid on for my project. This is just a rough outline, so the Sharpie, you won't see that after it's fired or anything. It was just so I know where I'm going to be putting my dots. So the idea for this project is that I wanted to create a granny square, like the crocheted or knit granny square that people then use to make quilts, or I've seen now they have like sweaters and stuff made out of that pattern. So I thought that would be pretty cool. So like I said, I have my dots here. I have a lot of black that I'll be using and some pops of colors here and there. I'm anticipating that I don't need a base piece underneath these. The idea is that I'll have these all laid out so that these guys are actually touching, even if there's, spaces in between. I think as long as they are touching, if I fuse this as is, they should fuse together, and maybe leave some gaps. I think that would be fine. Make it look more like that granny square pattern that I'm going for. So that's my idea. We will see if that is what ends up happening. Okay, so we'll see how well this works. I'm just gonna go for it. So I'm just gonna add some glue to my kiln paper first. So the idea is that I'm making a 4x4 square, and then each 1-inch square within that is going to be one of these different granny square patterns. So that was my initial idea. I think most of this video is going to be me searching through these bins, looking for the exact right size dot in the right color that I want to use. That's probably going to be the majority of this. So hopefully that's not terribly boring. So I definitely think that this would be easier if you specifically made, you know, each dot the exact same size. I don't know that I have that kind of patience to do that, but it would certainly make this step of the process a lot easier. So that's something to consider if you were going to try something like this. Okay, so I just grabbed a couple more colors just to give me more options to get the sizing right. So as you can see, I'm about halfway done, losing patience very quickly. I think I'm just gonna do one more row and then call it quits. And then it'll be not a square, but it will be a little rectangle of granny squares. So it'll be like a blanket. Yeah, just like I said, not having a lot of patience left for this project today. I do like the way it's turning out. It's just for some reason this is like driving me crazy. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. All right, guys, I think I'm at that point where I'm just gonna call it and say this might be as good as it's gonna get. Let me zoom in a little bit. It actually looks better from far away, not gonna lie. So for the idea project, I'm gonna give that a 10 out of 10. I think it's a really cool idea. Execution, like a 4 out of 10 at this point. I mean, we'll see how it fires. I don't really have high hopes. I think my first row was pretty good, and then the second one just kind of, this one really threw me off, and then by the third one, I think I was just starting to get really done with it. So like I said, we'll see if this even works, firing. Could be my first big fail on YouTube here, but that's all right. I'm gonna fire this. I'm gonna fire it to a full fuse. Like, the frit balls were already fired full, so they're not gonna like spread any more than they are. I'm hoping that firing it that hot will just make these melt into each other the way I'm hoping that they will. Like I said, we'll see. So I will be back tomorrow with the finished project and we'll see how it went. See you then. Bye. Hi friends, welcome back. We have our first fail. Epic failure. So clearly firing this to a full fuse was not the way to go. I really didn't think this was gonna happen. So the back, you can kind of see what I was going for a little bit more. Of course, yeah, not so great. I mean, this thing is, pretty cool in its own right. I'll probably use this at some point in a different project. But I think I'm gonna try again. I do have, I'm filming this far enough in advance that I do have another day that I can do another attempt, fire it again, and still be on schedule to release this video on Friday. So I do think that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do. Gotta tweak some things. I think I'm gonna make it slightly bigger just because I don't have enough dots that are that small. So I think I'm gonna have to use larger dots, which will make, the whole project a little bit larger. And then also I'm going to fire it on a tack fuse because full fuse, obviously not the way to go here. All right, so this was good learning experience. I'm gonna get some supplies ready to go and we're gonna give it another shot. All right, so as you can see, I'm working a little bit larger this time. I just have some boxes drawn out. I think what I am gonna do is just go ahead and do a black outline throughout the whole project first. I'm hoping I have enough of these. We'll see how it goes. I think maybe that's what screwed me up on the last one, is like just the placement and the dots weren't lining up all together. So we're gonna do something different this time and hope for different results. So wish me luck. Okay, that cut it pretty close. That was a lot of black dots. Get these out of the way here. Okay, so already I think looking better than my first attempt. I think this is going to give me a nice like framework to work within for the colored ones. So pretty happy with that. All right, so I think we are just about done here. I'm feeling much better about this version than I was about the previous version. So let me zoom in. I think this is definitely much more what I had been envisioning when I thought of this project. So hopefully when this gets fired, you know, we retain some of this. So I'm going to, like I said at the beginning, I'm going to fire this to a partial fire, and hopefully it comes out better than this one. So again, this is what we had on the first try, and hopefully this second try comes out a little bit better. So I'll be back tomorrow and show you the results. See you then. Hi guys, welcome back. It's the next day. I have my finished project here that was tack fused. So overall, I think it's better. Let me just show you the downside. So not all of those guys were actually touching the ones that they were next to, so they didn't fuse. So let me show you this. I mean, this is awesome. Like, I really, really, really like this. It is a bit fragile. I think that's okay. I mean, if it's just like a display piece. So I do think I mean, the technique can work. I just think it needs some tweaks. Let me see if I can get this back in. So basically, I just think that those dots that I used, you know, like I said, weren't quite touching the other ones, so they didn't fuse together. So you do have to be really careful with the sizing and the spacing. So I have a couple options. I could either, you know, exchange those dots out maybe for bigger ones and fire it again on the kiln paper and try to maintain the, you know, fragile nature of this. Or I could also fire this on top of a base, which is what I was trying to avoid this whole time. But I think I might actually go that route. I mean, I really enjoy the way that it looks, but as far as it being something, you know, useful, I think it just being a little bit stronger would be better. So I think that's how I'm gonna proceed at this point. Let me know what you would do. Would you refire it and try to maintain, you know, the actual crocheted look of it having all that empty space and being a little bit fragile, or would you go ahead and put it on a base to give it some more structural integrity? Let me know what you think I should do. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it wasn't, you know, it wasn't a total fail, but it wasn't quite a success either. But if you did enjoy this video, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I do put out a new video every Friday. I'll see you next week. Bye.